Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Movies and More. Today, I'm watching Rocky 4 with
John Carney
and Krystof Dolezal.
Krystof is not American, as you can tell. He kind of sounds like Ivan Drago.
Sounds pretty stupid to me.
And John Carney,
Shut up.
and John Carney sounds Hawaiian
Let's see.
and
Shala,
looks like it too.
Shaka.
Um,
Give me some shaka, baby.
so how you guys doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
Good, thanks for asking.
Of course.
Krystof, how about you?
I'm actually pretty decent today. Nice weather outside.
Water.
We are. Shut up. This is not funny. This is ethnical profiling.
That's not
So
what that is.
stop. I'm doing well. I would be much better if John would shut his mouth.
So, as I was saying, we're watching Rocky 4, you know? So, as I was saying, we're watching Rocky 4, and I just want to know what's your guys' relationship with Rocky Balboa and the franchise Rocky?
I've never actually seen any of the movies. I'm pretty uncultured.
That is terrible.
Yeah.
So this is
as
your
I
first time
said.
watching any of the movies, like?
It is. I feel very out of order. Even though I've never seen them, and I don't know if they have any correlation.
That's crazy. Krystof, what about you?
Well, since I'm truly culturally rich European,
And he's Russian.
He's not Russian, but yeah.
stop. If you're gonna further associate me with Russia, I'm gonna leave this podcast because my relationship with Russia is even worse than yours. So, my relationship with the movie series Rocky is great. I'm a big combat sports fan, and I definitely like the movie series. And as I said, it's kind of my duty to watch these classic movies since I'm a culturally rich European.
Yep. You're also a cultured American.
That's true.
Yeah.
John's here has been living his whole life, and he has watched the greatest American hero ever.
I'm a pretty
Rocky Balboa.
uncultured person.
It's actually sad. Like, your parents. Jeez. It's
Yeah.
embarrassing.
It is embarrassing.
So, Krystof, how are you here today? Like, what got you here today in America?
John drove me here.
No, to America, not my house.
I
Not my recording studio.
I flew plane to United States.
What circumstances, like, brought you here? Like, are you in a school program or?
Yeah, I'm a European refuge.
No, he's not. He's not.
It basically is.
I've been excommunicated, so I had to find a nice place to live.
What?
My house is a very nice place, if you can
And
tell.
I saw this family. Their name is Carney family.
Yes.
They live in Alaska. And Alaska.
Might as well just tell them their address.
W6.
I prefer not to.
I don't think he even knows our address.
I do.
Oh.
I think I do it better than John does.
Nah, I know my
And
address.
This great family offered this exchange program for the European refugees to have some of them at their home, and I thought it's a great family, and our relationship would be really nice, and we have common interests.
Yep.
So
He really
I-
enjoys cleaning my floor and cooking my meals.
actually, the true reason why I'm here
Yeah.
is that I'm actually a hard physical labor worker
It's the only reason he's here, actually.
from Europe,
We bought him off the black market.
and this family wanted me to helping with their landscape management and with cleaning the house, with building other stuff, especially from wood, and just
Okay.
working on a house.
By the way, if anyone's listening to this podcast and they're part of the government or like this program, they are kidding.
He sleeps on my floor.
He is treated very well at the Carney household.
I beat him
I bet.
daily.
And none of this is true. They are just joking around. Heads up to anybody who is listening, that is important.
Yeah, you can say that.
Okay? Heads up.
I'm honest.
We're joking. So, Krystof, what is the biggest difference from
that's
America to your country? Czech Republic.
There's a lot of differences. We definitely have less trucks per capita.
Less trucks, that's it? It's the only difference?
That's one of the few million reasons between the United States of America and the Czech Republic.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to hear more reasons?
Oh,
more
yes.
differences? So the scholastic system is truly different.
What's scholastic mean?
Schooling system.
Gotcha.
Yeah, John, please educate ourselves prior to this podcast.
Gotcha.
You should have read a dictionary.
Yeah.
Idiot.
Another difference is, let's say, the huge quantity of fast food restaurants you have in every single corner of this country. We do not have that many. And if you look at obese people, we have less of them at least.
I don't know
So,
about that.
Our average weight is definitely lower, and our body fat percentage is also lower.
What's your favorite fast food restaurant so far you've been to?
So far,
In the United States.
in the United States of America.
That's a good question, John.
Thank you.
Who is the host of this podcast?
But it's a good question, and I'm curious.
Thank you.
Okay. Probably
Pushing the conversation.
probably Culver's.
Culver's is good.
Great choice.
So, I have like every type of place I go, I get a different type of pop, like or soda.
Soda.
You know. So
Soda.
at like fast food restaurants, what type of pop do you guys get?
I drink water only.
Yeah.
That's not
he
true. You
does.
had a Fresca before this.
I did because I got offered, but when I and this house, so far, if I know correctly, it's not a fast food restaurant. So, in fast food restaurants, I get water. In every other restaurant as well,
Yeah.
Mhm.
So,
H2O.
John, what soda did you get at fast food restaurants?
So I actually really enjoy Dr. Pepper.
That's
But,
your go-to fast food?
Yeah,
Drink?
but if I'm at like McDonald's or something, I'll go for some good Sprite.
Yeah.
That McDonald's Sprite is just unbeatable.
Yeah.
It's the best.
I like.
Best
I
Sprite
feel
out
like
there.
for me, fast food restaurants is definitely Sprite. Like any fast food is Sprite. But if I go to like a restaurant, you know, like a sit-in and dine, I definitely go to a good root beer. Root beer. Krystof just made a face at that. What do you have to say about root beer? Because remember, we are Americans here. You're outnumbered.
You are outnumbered by quantity, but there's definitely more quality in me than there's quantity in you.
Yeah.
So, root beer should be renamed because it has nothing to do with beer.
Mm-hmm.
I feel disgust about it being called beer because you guys have no idea what a true beer is.
Great take.
Just for all the movies and more listeners and followers, beer is something that is supposed to bring you a state of higher satisfaction because how colorful, how fizzy, how good it is. You should try some Czech beer because this country is not known only for the highest beer consumption per capita in the Europe. It is also known for its great breweries and all that beer that is top-notch, highest quality in the whole world. So, if you ever want to try beer, go to Czech Republic. Or at least go to Hy-Vee and buy Pilsen. Thank you.
By the way, that's not true at all. And how do you know that Czech beer is so good? You're not 18.
They don't have a drinking age in Czech.
Actually?
No, they do. But
Actually, the earlier you start, the earlier you end, and therefore you don't drink as much in your lifetime.
Yeah.
Great take.
That's a smart thing to say. Well, Lacrosse is really good at their beer because they used to have the most bars on one street in the world.
We actually have the biggest six-pack.
They have the biggest six-pack, and they had the world record for both of them. And I believe they still have a biggest six-pack record, but they don't have the most bars on one street anymore.
I understand, and I agree
So I
with
think-
both of these sayings.
I think Lacrosse is
but-
killing it at beer.
Yeah,
None of
Lacrosse
you
County
guys-
Lacrosse County is actually like number 8 on the United States drunkest counties.
Is that true?
It is.
Are you
There's
s-
like
is that
like
a-
8
is
of
that a
the top
thing?
10
Yeah,
drunkest counties are Wisconsin counties.
but number one drunkest county in United States would be like number 58 in the Czech Republic. So
Are you calling
you
BS
are
on that?
nowhere close. And let me react to that statement that you said earlier, that you have the world's biggest six-pack
We do.
of
It's
beer.
proven.
and
It
the
is
most
proven.
restaurants per street in Lacrosse.
No, most bars.
Most bars. These both statements might be true.
They are.
They are true. Okay.
Well, it was,
But
and then we got
neither of
beat by
them
some others down.
neither of them proves that the beer that they actually have is good. So you might have the world's biggest six-pack of beer, but the beer still tastes horrible.
Hey, I've heard from a pretty good source that it tastes pretty good.
That might be true, but that source have not been in the Czech Republic.
How do you know? Maybe they traveled when they were younger.
If they traveled, if they were younger, they were probably not.
No,
in
like
a
when they were
drinking age.
21
If they were 21, okay.
and they traveled the world and
Then
they
they
tried
were-
Czech beer and was like, gross.
Then they probably tried one of our worst beers. We
So
have so
all of
many
them?
breweries, so the smaller percentage are those not so good beers, and the higher percentage are those truly good beers.
Yeah. I don't know about that, but I'll have to. I don't know anything about beer. You seem like you know your stuff
I do.
about it somehow, even though you're not old enough.
I do not encourage underage drinking by any means.
Doesn't sound like it.
wow.
I am reviewing the beer. I am not encouraging to drink the beer.
So I actually just looked this up. In the Czech Republic, 16.8 to 17.6% of adult drinkers get drunk. And in La Crosse County, 24.6% get drunk.
La Crosse County is...
That is an entire 9% more
How many people
population.
live in La Crosse County?
That does not matter. Okay,
50
about it.
plus 20, 50,
Shut up.
60, 70
La Crosse County is bigger than you
plus
think.
10.
This statistic is
Like-
unlegitimate.
Like 100,000 people.
Yes.
Like
You are
100,000
That's a
people.
single county compared to an entire country.
You are, because if you take
So a quarter
take-
a quarter of our county gets drunk on a daily basis, or like a whatever, whatever the statistic is.
the statistic
And only 17% of the entire Czech Republic gets drunk. Yes, that's more people, but
it's more people
wow,
by
that's crazy.
more than
Seems like you guys are overdoing it.
90%.
We are.
This statistic is
Let's go
not
next
reliable.
statistic.
So it seems like your beer isn't that good.
The beer is good.
Your
John
precious
just
beer is
doesn't
not
know
that good.
how statistic works.
No, I'm gonna guess that Czech beer is pretty good.
Correct.
I'll find out when I visit Chris later in life.
But you're not 18, so when you're 21 and you
Later
when
in
you're 21
life.
and you visit, you'll check her out and come back to us.
Yep. I will.
Send it in audio clip.
Oh yeah.
So what type of sports do you play in Czech Republic or Czechoslovakia that are not common in our country, America, United States of America? Sorry.
I actually have no idea which sports are being done in the Czechoslovakia because there's no such thing as Czechoslovakia.
Yeah, there
So-
is.
You might ask someone from year 1993 or earlier to tell you.
What's the story behind that? How is Czechoslovakia not a thing? Did it just disappear? Like, poof, it's not there anymore?
You should learn more about history and how countries are assembled and disassembled. Let me
Short answer, yes.
let me
It
take
just
a.
disappeared.
Where is Drago from?
Russia.
Incorrect. He's from the Soviet Union. That's a different country than Russia is.
Ah, shoot.
So,
I did my research paper wrong.
yes, you did.
Darn it.
Right now, there is no such country as Soviet Union.
Yeah, it's Russia.
Yeah, correct. How can that happen, Leo?
I don't know. I'm not Russian. I don't know.
In early 90s, the Soviet Union was disassembled and became Russia. Similar thing happened with the Czechoslovakia, which in year 1993 divided into Czech Republic and Slovak Republic.
Slovak, where's that?
Slovakia?
Oh,
Central Europe.
Central Europe. Oh, okay. What was my original question?
About the sports.
Sports.
About sports, yes. What's that? What's the difference? Or like what's uncommon here that's very common there for the sports aspect?
I'm not entirely sure. Our best sports are hockey and soccer, which hockey is not popular in certain parts of America,
That's true. Unfortunately.
and it is popular in all of the Czech Republic. Soccer is not very popular in all United States either, and it is very popular in Czech Republic.
That's not true. I feel like soccer's pretty popular here, but it's definitely popular here. It's just that
Not
less people
compare
follow it compared to other
with
sports.
football, basketball, baseball.
Yeah, not compared
There's
to
a
other
smaller,
sports.
yeah, I don't know.
Like
Yeah,
we
well-
have like our national leagues, and like our soccer leagues are more world leagues. I mean, we have multiple teams in the nation, but it's not as popular.
Yes,
Yeah, I
correct.
agree with John.
So, soccer. Just to be sure, I hate the word soccer. Only reason why I'm saying it, because you wouldn't understand if I said football.
He thinks you guys are very smart listening at home. I just want you to know that. I think you're very smart.
Thank you, Leo.
Not you.
The
People
American
listening at home.
the American football is a great sport, but the name football comes from the two words foot and ball. What that indicates, you kick the ball with your foot, which in soccer you do all the time. In football, you do not do as often. So I'm saying soccer, so you guys understand what I'm talking about.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You are very welcome. Other sports pretty popular are other winter sports, such as skiing or biathlon. Then we, of course, have a pretty good basketball team, and guys such as Tomáš Satoranský.
Oh, big name.
Yeah, he was playing in the Bulls and the Wizards a few years ago. He was a big name in the NBA. Other sports that are fairly popular are sports like tennis.
Tennis is fun.
Tennis is fun.
You're gonna play on a tennis team this year?
No,
Are you sure?
I am sure.
Come on. Tennis is awesome.
Tennis is awesome, but I will probably recheck this offer to play tennis in the spring.
Your loss.
So you actually, from what I remember, you play in a hockey league back home. Is that correct?
It is not directly a league. It is a hobby hockey, which is amateur hockey.
Wow.
Sometimes we play different teams, but it's not that organized, not that centralized. But yes, in fact, I love hockey as every citizen of the Czech Republic. And if I wasn't wrestling, which I'm happy I am. If I wasn't wrestling, I would be playing hockey.
Wow. Inspirational.
I love hockey. It's such a part of my being, and I very much enjoy it. Like you. So on the podcast, we usually ask our guests what their hot take is. What's your guys' hot takes? John, you go first.
I really enjoy drinking pickle juice. No, that's a bad one. I really like strawberry milk.
Strawberry milk is okay. I mean,
I think a lot of people hate on strawberry milk, and strawberry milk is the best drink. It's the best drink.
It's okay.
That's my hot
It's
take.
not the best drink.
It is so good. It's so savory.
Like if you had
and
one
sweet.
drink left to drink in the rest of your life, it would be strawberry milk.
Yes.
That's over the top. I mean, it's okay, but it's not amazing.
Strawberry milk is so good. It is
Like,
so good.
Okay, no, it's not.
Yes,
chocolate
it
milk
is.
of good chocolate milk. Every day is way better.
If I'm at Quick Trip, I'm getting strawberry milk.
That's crazy.
Whether it's a quarter or half gallon, bro, strawberry milk is where it's at.
I cannot believe that.
Every single time.
That's crazy. That's a hot take for sure. Chocolate milk is way better than that.
No.
Okay, Krystof, what's yours?
My hot take is that eating the same meal every single day is a good thing.
He eats chicken and rice every day for lunch. For the viewers
Every single day.
who don't know.
Like
Every day.
that and a spicy chicken sandwich.
I do not. Spicy chicken sandwich, I try not to buy often, and I do not buy it often.
But he eats chicken and rice every single day.
I don't feel like that's a hot take to eat the same thing every day.
Well, he just watches what he eats, calories,
That
macros,
was just-
whatever. But
If I
maybe
really
not hot take.
If I
No.
really needed the time to think of some really good hot take, I would need
Yeah.
more time.
Should have given us some categories beforehand, though.
Yeah, sorry,
It's
but
okay. I forgive you.
I feel like that is like I feel like it would get bland or boring after the first week or
It is.
so.
It is not about
Rocky getting beat up.
it's not about how fun it is or how you enjoy it. It's about what it gives you, and it's about the discipline that you show by eating the same food. And if you're eating the same food, that means that the food is somehow healthy, that it gives you something,
Yeah.
it gives you the nutrients.
Mhm.
So for me, it is chicken and rice. For someone,
Good
it
man.
is pork and pasta, or pork and rice, or spaghetti and meatballs. But whatever it is that fits to your diet, and it's not always great. It doesn't always taste the best, but it's all about the discipline and the nutrients you intake to your body.
I don't know. Even if it is good for you and good tasting, I still feel like it would get super boring. Because, like, there's weekends, like, for hockey tournaments and stuff. We have pizza every single day. You know?
Yeah.
Like, order pizza every day of the weekend. Like, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And on, like, you just get sick of it, you know? Like, even if it is delicious and good for you. I mean, pizza's not, but it still gets bland, you know?
It depends what your goal is.
Yeah.
I have a goal. If you do not have a goal, and you don't have a reason to eat the same food every single day, even if it's healthy or not healthy, then it doesn't matter. And if you do because it's a tradition, or if it's just you're used to it, then I understand it gets boring, because there's nothing pushing you forward. There's no reason why you should stop eating it, or to start eating something else, something different. But if you have that goal, if you want to lose weight, or if you want to gain muscle, or if it's for your sport, then you should embrace it, and it doesn't have to be the same single. You can add something to it. You can add salt, pepper, some different spices. You can add some vegetables to it. You can do the chicken different way. You can grill it, you can roast it, you can add different spices, but the food will remain the same. And if you can pick this food and make it better, you can improve it for yourself. It is worth it, even if it gets boring.
Yeah, that's a good point. So I have in the movie right now, Rocky 4. It's just when Apollo dies. You know, do you think it's Rocky's fault that Apollo died? Like, Apollo told him not to throw in the towel, but you could tell that Apollo is getting demolished in the ring by Ivan Drago. I think it's Rocky's fault that Apollo died, because he died, and he definitely saved his life by throwing in the towel and making the ring stop. Even if Apollo stops becoming his friend, his friend is still alive. What do you guys think?
I think this could be both yes or no answer, because both has really good arguments for it. If I elaborate on your opinion that it is his fault, there is some truth to that, because human life is way more valuable than the outcome of a boxing match.
For sure.
And the health should be more important than anything else. So it might be Rocky's fault, even if Apollo said not to throw the towel, because
that's what I'm saying.
He's a warrior. Apollo is a warrior. He would never finish the fight by throwing the towel in. So he just wanted to embrace it and continue fighting. But Rocky, there's the dilemma if Rocky throws the towel or no, because there's such a stress. There's such a mentally demanding moments in that fight, in that match. So if he decided to throw the towel, it would definitely be better, and Apollo probably wouldn't have died. But if Apollo wished for that, he fulfilled his wish. If I take it from the other side, that it was not Rocky's fault, that could be explained by, or the reasoning behind that could be that Apollo truly wanted it. He truly wanted to even die in the worst, or be injured permanently somehow.
Yeah.
So I think it's a great question. Who is responsible for Apollo's death? And as I'm saying, I'm kind of standing neutral on this, because as I'm saying, both of the opinions have good arguments, but I'm probably a little bit more inclined to opinion that it is Rocky's fault that he didn't throw the towel. If we just a small note, if we look back to a Creed movie, the Creed 2, which is connected to the Rocky movies. In Creed 2, there's Drago again, and Leo, you tell me, should I spoil it or no?
Yeah, you can spoil it.
Okay. So, spoiler alert for Creed 2. There's Ivan Drago again, but years later, so he's not fighting, he's a coach of his son, Victor Drago.
Uh-huh.
And he has a fight with Adonis Creed, and it's a really thrilled fight. It's a really tough fight, really bloody, really just aggressive. And it in the, I'm not sure the round, but in close to the end of the match, they are both exhausted, but Adonis Creed gets this kick and he starts beating Victor really bad, really bad. And Drago is on Victor's side and he sees it. And now there's the question in his head that could be translated to this movie. should I throw the towel or no? Should I throw it and lose the huge battle that's being fought there, or should I leave it and let him figure it out because he's a warrior? I think there was a thought in Ivan Drago's head at that moment that was connected to Rocky 4, to his fight years and years ago with with Apollo. Because he knew that happened. He knew he is the one who killed Apollo, even if it was in a match. It was a sport. So there was probably thought in his head about that, but in the end he threw the towel in and possibly saved either Victor's life or saved him from more devastating injuries.
Yeah.
So it could be translated to that moment as well.
I watched that Creed 2 in the theater when it first came out, and like the callback was so amazing. Like the way it came full circle, you know? And I agree with what you said. Rocky definitely feels guilt for not throwing the towel. He blames himself for Apollo's death. Like he's kind of depressed, you know? All the way up until he beats Drago. And I feel like he beat Drago because he wanted to win one for
He has this
Creed.
huge motivation. Well, there was always some motivation why he that pushed him through the fights he had in previous Rocky movies. He had a motivation, but now it's motivation on a different level because the guy he wants to go against, Ivan Drago, he is the one that did the harm to Apollo, who was Rocky's great friend and sparring partner and his coach as well.
Yes.
So now it's a completely different motivation. Now the goal is way higher than it was before. So we can think of it as the stage is that he's destroyed. He's just sad, he's depressed by it. But it will, because he is a crazy guy too. He's a warrior. So what pushes him forward, what he's gonna transfer from the sadness, from the grief, to his aggression and to the drive he will obtain, he will have to fight Drago. That's what this movie is all about, and
Yes.
that's what is the main thing about this movie. The whole background. Why is he going to fight Drago?
Yeah, and in the movie, I 100% agree with you. In the movie, his wife Adrian tells Rocky he can't win, and I agree with that. Like, Rocky cannot beat Ivan Drago, but Rocky and Creed can. So I feel like Creed came down from the heavens and helped Rocky beat Drago. Because if you watch this fight, he is fighting so much like Apollo. Like, his footwork is so good because of what Apollo taught him in Rocky 2 and how Creed fought in Rocky 2 and Rocky 1, you know? And sorry, 3. And I feel like Apollo is why Rocky beat Drago, you know?
Definitely, because you can see the huge difference of Rocky's boxing style before and after being coached by Apollo. Because Apollo's style was to be lighter, to be quicker. The speed kills, and for him that was the biggest thing, that you can be lighter, but you have to be more active, you have to be faster, you have to be more agile. And that wasn't Rocky's first style. His first style was to be a little heavier, be really more powerful, get more impactful, more heavier strikes, and not to be thinking about the footwork too much. But after fighting with Apollo, and then after being coached by him, and after just sparring together, you can see the change, and that's another thing that helped him defeat those other guys in Rocky 2 and Rocky 3. And
For sure.
And with his fighting career was the huge impact that Apollo had on him. So you could collect so many reasons why is Rocky motivated to go to the fight
For sure.
with Drago.
John, what do you think?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, does throwing the towel, like, does that just mean like you
And the fight.
give up and the fight?
Yeah, it's kind of like a forfeit because you're gonna die.
Gotcha.
Yeah, basically.
Wow.
So, do you have any thoughts or not really?
No, not really. I'm not. As I said earlier, I'm very uncultured in watching Rocky, so I've never
Yeah.
actually seen it. I don't have much of a opinion on it.
Yeah. But yeah, Krystof, you've brought up so many great points about that, and I feel like it's brought a whole bunch of thought to
Yeah.
the movie, and like even in the movie they show you they show flashbacks of Apollo helping Rocky get faster and get stronger and moving around quick, and it's just the relationship between those two, and the guilt Rocky felt really helped him get through the fight, like without Apollo there's no way Rocky would beat Drago, without Apollo's like drive, and without Apollo's drive and Rocky's ability to fight, there's no way Rocky would win,
But this I agree, and this movie also, this movie series, not just this one particular movie, but this movie series proves how boxing and other combat sports, but now when we are talking just the box, how mental it is, and how huge part of this sport is in your head. It's not in your feet, it's not in your hands, it's not in your body, it's also in your head. And that is the huge part of it. How you look at it, how you overcome the adversity, which in this movie series the adversity is there always. There's always something that's in Rocky's way. There's always something that brings him down or just kicks him down. And that is what it's about, just to overcoming the adversity and just pushing through, pushing forward. So there's a huge mental aspect of it as well, and even more when it's connected to a death of something, of someone you knew and someone who helped you so much. So it also proves how mental these sports are.
For sure. And like the reason our football team, John, if you agree with me, the reason our football team,
Adversity.
the Aquinas Blue Gold, has done so well is our teammates and our coach's ability to like be mentally tough.
Yep.
Like our coaching staff is great about talking about the next most important thing.
That's our definition of mentally. What is it?
Mental toughness.
Mental
And,
toughness
like,
is the ability to move on to the next most important thing.
Yeah. Our teammates are so great at that. Our coaches and our coaching staff is so good. That's one thing our team really strives at. That really helped us move on and win those state championships. I think at least. And David Moline. Shout out to David Moline.
Coach Blatz, actually, he talks so much adversity. He's a very big Twitter person, X, as you might say. His most recent retweet: "Winning is about having the whole team on the same page."
For real, I 100% agree with that,
that's
Coach
a quote.
Blatz.
That's a
Shout
quote.
out to Coach Blatz.
Shout out to Coach Blatz and Coach Bryce because he needs a shout out.
Yeah, and shout out to Coach Lee as well.
Yeah, shout out to Coach Blatz, and make sure you follow him on Twitter at Coach Blatz. Okay, he has great reposts that really
Inspire.
really show us the meaning of teammateship and teammateship. I don't know, but yeah.
If I can add something, I would like to give a shout out to Coach Phil as well,
Coach Phil,
the linebacker coach and the defensive coordinator, because with linebackers, he always had those quotes. It doesn't have to be always definitely a quote, but sometimes it's a video, sometimes it's just an advice, and it is very often connected to this same topic: how to face the hard things, how to overcome adversity, and just how to push forward. So shout out to Coach Phil as well. He helped us a lot.
Oh yeah.
I also want to shout out Coach Kramer. He's just a great guy, you know. Brains behind the operation, I feel like.
Yeah.
Definitely the brains behind the operation. I mean, shout out to him. I mean, he makes our boat float, as they say, you know.
Yep.
And Coach K.
Play calling is not very easy.
Coach K is great at dancing on the sidelines.
I learned that in Madden. Play calling is not very easy.
Yeah, I usually lose to the computer 80-0.
Yeah, I'm pretty bad at Madden.
I'm not good either.
So actually, did you know this was not Krystof's first year playing football? American football. He actually played back home in the Czech Republic.
I knew that, but I bet the people at home didn't.
I bet they didn't either.
That's really interesting. Is there like a difference in American football and Czech Republic football, or not really? Or is it European football it's called?
It is called American football.
Where you live?
Yeah. For people that don't know it or just don't care about it, it's called American football because football for us, for all Europe, is what you call here soccer. So the sport is the same. The rules we are playing by the collegiate rules.
Uh-huh.
So such as if you want to catch a ball, you have to have at least one foot in. You don't have to have both, as in NFL, and more collegiate rules. But it's different with youth leagues because the main difference is we do not have school sports. So we have leagues and clubs, teams, and one of the things is that the Czech League of American football, is divided into a few different divisions, categories. We have a first league, which is the main one, but you have to be at least 18 to play there. And it's normal 11-man football with collegiate rules. There are few little different rules, like rules about the mercy rule or rules
Did they
about
turn off the scoreboard after 50 or something?
if it's 35-0, then you do not stop the clock.
Oh, really?
So yeah. So there are some small differences in rules.
I know
but overall it's very similar. But what is different is that in youth categories, then it depends how many players your team have.
Uh-huh.
So if your team is pretty big, pretty decent, you would play normal 11-man football. But what I used to play, because our teams were not that big, and I used to play 18 under category, we played 9-man football. So that's 9-on-9, and it is different. It is just same sport, but it feels different as well. So I'm happy I had the opportunity to play 11-man football here, and when I come back, I will continue with playing it.
I know, like, for younger aged hockey players, hockey teams, if the score is like 6-0, 7-0, they stop putting goals on the board. So like if the team keeps scoring, it's like 10-0, like 13-0, and they just stop putting them on the board, and it says it'll just say 7-0 or 6-0 for the rest of the game. So thanks guys, thanks John and Krystof for coming on. I appreciate it.
Of course. Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks, and thanks for listening, guys. See ya. Bye.